Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cynthia. I am a wife and homeschool mom to 3 little ones and a writer at the Gracefilled Today's video is going to be episode 2 of my planning for a homeschool year. That's actually harder than it seems. Okay, let's rewind and do that over. Today's video is episode 2 in my planning for a new homeschool year series that I started last week, where I gave you guys 3 tips on what to do before you even get into the planning process. Today's video, we're going to be talking about curriculum. So step number 1 in choosing curriculum is to check out your state laws. Before you even start looking into curriculum, check what your requirements are. I know a lot of us may check requirements when we first get into homeschooling, that very first year, but it's really important for you guys, or for us, to check yearly. For every new school year, we should be checking what our state requirements are. Usually in a public school, if something changes, you'll probably get an email or a letter in the mail from your school principal telling you, hey, this has changed. Guess what? In your homeschool, you're the principal. So you need to know what your state requirements are, what subjects you are to teach, how many days in the school year you need to be teaching. Some states will even have requirements for how many days you're supposed to teach a certain curriculum. So you want to make sure that you are up to date with what's going on with your homeschool laws. You never want to find yourself in a situation where you did not meet the state's requirements and then you have a whole legal battle after that. So make sure that every school year you are looking into your state requirements. A website that you can use to check those laws, those requirements, is the HSLDA website, where you can also become a member for a very small fee. This is not sponsored. This is me just genuinely telling you, look into that website if you can afford it, get that membership. It will be very beneficial in the long run, trust me. Once you know what your state laws are, the next thing you want to do is think about what subjects you want to teach. 1, what subjects are required, and 2, what subjects you want to add. So for us in our households, our 4 non-negotiables are math, language arts, Bible, and Spanish. If you saw my video on why we homeschool, one of the reasons, or 2 of the reasons I guess you can say, was Bible and Spanish. So those are really non-negotiables in our homeschool. Other than that, we also have science and social studies, and my girls do ballet as extracurricular activities. Electives, they love art, they love to draw, and pretty soon we will be getting them into music. So that's something that you want to determine before you get into curriculum, before you get into your school year. Once you know what curriculum or what subjects you want to be teaching in your school year, in your homeschool, the next thing you want to do, which is tip number 3, is evaluate your current or previous school year. It's very important, and I will always say this, figure out what worked for you and what did not work for you in this last school year. For example, right now it's March. I typically start my planning process this month, if not sooner. I actually started sooner this year. But March is a really good month to start planning and researching and thinking about next school year. So you want to think about that, looking into what has worked for you this year and what hasn't. What curriculums did you notice that your child wasn't so fond of? What curriculums or what subjects or what activities did you notice that your child loved? As much as we want to make homeschool easier for us, we also have to make it enjoyable for our child. So it's easy to just grab any curriculum that is open and go, but if your child does not like that, there's going to be a lot of tension in your school day because of that. So always look into what worked and what didn't. Involve your child. I will always say involve your child in these conversations. You want to get their honest opinions. You want to get their thoughts. You want to know their feelings on how that school year went, on what curriculum they liked, what curriculum they didn't, what activities, field trips, and so on. Another thing that you should consider when evaluating your school year is, what is your child's learning style? Does your child like to write a lot? Does your child love the bookwork? Does your child love art? Without knowing your child's learning style, you really are clueless to what curriculum is going to work or what you should get. You need to know what your child enjoys, how they enjoy to learn, and then you'll be able to make the best informed decision on curriculum. So once you know your state requirements and the laws, once you know what subjects are non-negotiables, what electives you want, what extracurricular activities you want, and once you have evaluated your current and previous school year, now you get to do your research. It is easy for us mamas, I'm including myself in this, to jump on YouTube and just watch a million videos on a bunch of different curriculum, everyone's honest opinions, I've posted that video too, and get so caught up on what everyone else is saying that you don't do as much research as you should. I am guilty of it. This is why I say it. Make sure you are doing your own research for these curriculums. Go on the websites, click on the curriculum. A lot of these websites and curriculum companies, they have sample pages that you can try out, or even sample pages just to see what's in the book. Don't buy based off of a review that you saw on YouTube. Remember, everyone's child is different. Every homeschool is different. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. So you really want to do your own research before taking on someone else's word or before spending money on anything, really. So check for sample pages and also check pricing. When you're doing your research, you want to know what prices these curriculums have, because later on when you're budgeting, you need to know what you're budgeting for. If something interests you, write it down, note it down for later on when you go back to purchase. So those are my 4 tips on choosing a curriculum. I hope that this video has been a blessing to you, that I have been able to help you out some way, somehow, and I hope that you come back to watch next week's video. If you did enjoy this and you're coming back, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you're notified when the next video comes out, and give this video a thumbs up, por favor. And if you have a friend that is homeschooling or looking to homeschool, go ahead and share this video with them, share the playlist so that they can also be informed on different things that you can do to prepare for a new homeschool year, whether you are a new homeschool mom or one who has been homeschooling for years. That's all, guys. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next week.